Okay, this I'm envisioning this to be a short video. Just a small context before we start. I have observed that a lot of us, a lot of experts, a lot of expert firms, a lot of consultants, coaches, they create a lot of content internally. So they have this practice, especially if you're like a solo business, you have this practice of writing daily. You have the practice of, let's say, having an email list, and you have this practice of building an email list and sending an email to them, sometimes daily, sometimes weekly. But one of the challenges that many experts have is that they don't have a good top of the funnel, which means that there is not a lot of not a lot of opportunity for them to attract people into their sphere of influence, which means this email series, or in other words, they don't have enough email subscribers. And so, yes, one way of building that email list is continuing to help the existing email subscribers and hoping that they'll tell their friends, which is also a great strategy. But one thing that can speed this thing up is putting your content on platforms such as Medium and LinkedIn, which is what we'll talk about today. If you're not on my email list, sign up to my email list. I'll put the links in the description or in the comments. Do sign up for my email list, because what are you doing? Like, I'm giving out I am learning about email marketing specifically for experts, and I'm sharing whatever I'm learning. So uh, I would love to share the same learnings with you, so that the process, such as building more trust with the audience, getting more leads, or engaging with leads, becomes easier for you, right? So yeah, sign up to my list. I'll just start sharing my screen. The title of today's video is how experts are getting a ton of email subscribers using medium.com. How experts are getting a ton of email subscribers using medium.com. And as I explained, a lot of these experts are posting content on Medium, because that is where people are already there, which gets a lot of attention at the top of the funnel. And then when they get to know about you through medium.com, they come to know about your brand, and then with a proper call to action, you can get them into your email list. I want to show you a couple of examples of people who are doing it really, really well. The first is Andy Raskin, or maybe you have heard of him. He specializes in creating like a strategic narrative, a story for brand. He specializes in product companies. So if you look at this article again, I'm assuming that you know about Medium. If you don't know, Medium is like, you can say, a site where you can blog, for the lack of a better word. And people, your article will get will get more exposure on Medium, simply because it's visited by a lot of people. So it's a blogging platform basically, which allows you to format your articles in the way you want to. Okay, so as you can see, there is this cover photo and there is this heading which says the greatest sales deck I've ever seen. Now, one thing to understand about Medium is that you're typically posting on medium.com to appeal to a newer audience. It's an audience that doesn't know you, because if you wanted to talk to the audience that knows you, you would have done it by using your email list. So the point is, as you are being exposed to a new audience, the headline and the subtitle makes a big, or plays a huge role. So you can't get away, or you should not try to uh, you know uh, give lesser importance to headlines. The headline for a new audience matters, right? I've spoken about this before, that the trust goes on decreasing. Sorry, the importance of headline goes on decreasing as you build more trust, but here you don't have any trust, so headline matters. The greatest sales deck I've ever seen basically means, he's taking a very strong stance. It's a very, very big thing to say, right? So it immediately grabs attention. It says it's Zora's, it's brilliant, and here is why. Then it starts off with a story. A very, very common storytelling technique is that you start off with a story. So it talks about his personal story, and then he ends that personal story with this: I said is the greatest sales deck I've ever seen, which invokes curiosity. Now, for someone who is in the SaaS space or in the product space, and who's a marketer and who's looking to build such a strategic narrative, he or she is going to be pulled in by this title and by this story, because after reading this article I will have some insights as to how to build a strategic narrative, how to build a brand story for my particular client or for my particular brand. And then he uses these headlines and then he speaks about them. And again, like he's very methodical. This is a very uh, uh, this he has given a lot of thought in his article, as you can see. So there is number one, then there is a title, then there is an image. So using images is possible on Medium. Many authors, successful authors on Medium, do this and it works really really well. So use images, use italics, using titles really helps. Then you can highlight this, which is also what is cool about Medium. And again, like I will just skim through it because I also want to show you one more. So yeah, he lays out basically 4 to 5 pointers, and then with images, extremely organized article. So this is different from a typical Seth Godin blog that you get in your email, because it's a note that he's writing for you. This is a communication to a stranger audience, an audience who doesn't know you. So you have to put in the effort of being a little methodical, being a little systematic with your writing process. All right. And then he ends with a little bit about himself, and then he gives a call to action. Okay, James Clear also does the same thing. I won't go too deep into what James Clear did, because the takeaways are mostly the same. But here again, like Medium did play a big role in building his audience before he actually launched on Atomic Habits. My favorite example, though, is from this guy known as Benjamin Hardy, who is an author who typically writes about self-help. Now, his, by the way, I forgot to tell you the numbers. Andy Raskin has gotten 93,000 claps. Claps is likes, and 319 comments, which is huge, right? James Clear has got 600 claps and 3 responses. Again, possibly one of his weaker engagement, but still, by showing up every day or every week, he could build an audience by taking them from Medium onto his website. If you look at Benjamin Hardy's stats, they are like another level altogether. 85,000 claps and 314 responses. But if you look at the volume of articles that he has published and the overall engagement that he has got, it's crazy. It's really huge. What Benjamin Hardy does is again the same. Firstly, he takes a stance. He makes a clear promise that this is about a morning routine. Then he talks about your first 3 hours will make you or break you. Then he attacks the traditional workday, which is a great start to a story, right? When you attack the existing status quo, it lays out for a great story start. The myth of the 8-hour workday, and then he gives the title, and then again, like he is very methodical, again using titles. One thing that I like about him is that he uses a lot of credibility. So one thing that I've seen experts do a lot of times is that they give their opinion, but if you can build some credibility, because again this is a stranger audience, right? An audience who is a stranger to you. So if you can borrow some credibility from someone like this, like Benjamin Hardy did in this case, he borrowed it from someone named Dan Sullivan, right? So people will find your work much more believable. Then he speaks about deep work, and then he speaks about tactical advice. So one thing that he does is tactical advice and strategical advice. He's not really talking just in concepts. He gives you specific, very specific advice about how much proteins you should have, how you should protect your mornings, and so on. Yeah, and then again, like he will go into the details of the kind of songs that he listens to and all of that. So as you can see, this is very methodical and very detailed. And towards the end, this is the most interesting part. Get the free 6-page future self checklist here, right? And of course, when I click here, I will be redirected to his particular website, where I will be able to download this, right? So this is his lead magnet, and he has been able to build a tremendous audience on Medium and also on his email list. So just to summarize the takeaways from this particular video, um, if you want to succeed on LinkedIn, one, you need to have a very compelling headline, followed by a very methodically written article, a very systematic article, a very well presented article. Build credibility in your writing by taking by not just by giving your opinion, but by also taking feedback, or by also including a borrowed credibility from other people and other resources. make it visually appealing. So use the features that Medium provides in terms of making it italic, making it bold, or using an image. Make your article beautiful. Stand for something or against something. Again, most of these articles that I showed you had a very, very distinct point of view, so you can't really shy away from that. You need to stand for something or against something, and you need to give actionable advice. If you look at the Andy Raskin article, or even if you look at the Benjamin Hardy article, it was not just concept, but it was also about an advice that I can act upon right from tomorrow, which is what is great about this. That's all. I'll just end by saying, it's great that we are publishing content for our people. Can we publish content for our top of the funnel using Medium? The answer is yes, and I hope you do it, and I hope I do it as well. Okay. All right. Thanks.